What's this? My pocket has sprouted a hole. Oh, my silver pennies must be scattered all over Hobbiton.
Welcome back to The Hobbit, everybody. This video contains many tidbits that I didn't show or discuss in my walkthrough, for various reasons. Most of it didn't fit what I was trying to do with the walkthrough. There were other pieces that I just forgot about, and there were multiple other pieces that I didn't know existed when I made the walkthrough. Enjoy! To kick things off, we have the opening movie that plays when you first start the game. I decided not to include this as the first video in my walkthrough because it kind of spoils the game's story.
This is the tale of Bilbo Baggins, a hobbit with no idea of the adventures about to befall him, or their consequences.
My precious! It must know the way out! Burn the trees!
There are 5 different lines that Bilbo can say when you interact with the 5 pictures on the wall at the far end of Bag End. Here they all are, in no particular order.
That's my gamma Laura. She was a grub before she married a Baggins. That's my Aunt Linda when she was a child. That's my Aunt Belba. Good old Uncle Bingo. Ah, Cousin Falco.
There are 6 possible endings that can occur if Hobart catches Bilbo in his berry patch in the chapter An Unexpected Party. Here is the first ending.
Oh, Mr. Baggins, so good of you to stop by. Sorry I haven't come by to visit lately. I had a shocking cold. Think I caught it from young Hamfast. Why, he runs around out by the old mill. It's just not safe.
Here's the second ending.
What was that? Come out of there, Badger! Bilbo! Good morning, sir! You know, young Hilda was asking about old Bandabros Took again. Of course, she didn't call him Bandabros, called him Bull Roarer, as most people do, but not me. No, sir.
Here's the third ending.
What was that? Ho ho, Mr. Baggins! Come to give an old hobbit some company, did you? How wonderful! Most people just leave me alone up here. Can't think of any other reason. Perhaps they just don't like to have me nice.
Here's the fourth ending.
Those children keep running around playing hide and seek. Hamfast in that old mill, Bell over at the market. Those children need to be careful. They just raise a ruckus every chance they get. When I was a boy, we respected other hobbits.
Here's the fifth ending.
Rotten badgers! Oh, Bilbo! I thought you were a badger. Chasing badgers is not good for my back. Have I told you about this ache in my back? Oh, my aching bones. Tends to act up when the weather's...
Here is the sixth and final ending.
Who's there? Mr. Baggins, good to see you. You know, the children these days just don't have the respect for their elders that they used to. Why, I remember when I was a young hobbit. Children in the Shire knew their place. We knew when to speak.
Here's what happens if you get caught by the chickens in the chapter An Unexpected Party. You can get caught by walking on the creaky boards. Now I will show what happens when you get caught by each troll in the chapter Roast Mutton. Here's what happens if you get caught by Bert.
Hey, what was that? Come here, you nasty little rabbit. It looks tasty. What is it?
Here's what happens if you get caught by Tom.
That was no badger. Stop moving. You're going on a spit.
Here's what happens if you get caught by William.
Did you hear something? Hey, come back here! Let's have a bite!
With one exception, if you successfully throw a rock at each of the 3 trolls in the chapter Roast Mutton, they will each give 1 additional line of speech. Here's Bert's line.
Hey! Something bit me!
Here's Tom's line.
A bug just bit me.
And here's William's line.
Feels like rain.
Remember the exception I mentioned earlier? Well, if you throw a rock at Tom while he is yawning, his yawn will reset. In the chapter Troll Hole, the Guardian has a long-ranged boulder throw attack to try to prevent you from stealing the healing draught, saving Lianna, and then escaping without killing it first. However, it is still possible to save Lianna and then escape without killing the Guardian, as I show here.
Draft. Oh, I'm not too late to save her.
Oh, thank you, friend. I am Lianna of the Wood-elves.
Bilbo Baggins of the Shire, at your service. I'm searching for the Troll Cave. Do you know how I can find it?
You will need this if you want to find the Troll Cave. But beware. These caverns are filled with the Witch King's traps.
In my walkthrough, I stated, the frog people only take 1 hit to kill, regardless of the weapon you use. This is actually only the case if you pick up the Expert Stick Tactics training scroll, which is at the beginning of the chapter Troll Hole. This training scroll is in plain view, as I show in this clip, so it's impossible to miss unless you do so intentionally. If you don't pick up that training scroll, the frog people will take 2 hits to kill with the stick instead of 1, and they also have their own pained sounds they sometimes make when they take damage, as shown here. In the chapter Overhill and Underhill, if you attempt to continue following the mountain path instead of heading into the cave with the gold machine, the mountain path will be blasted away. If you approach the Mugg lift without grabbing the Mugg key, Bilbo will say,
I'll need a key to get this started.
in the chapter Riddles in the Dark, there are a total of 3 possible lines that Krugbit can give when you approach him in order to retrieve the Wart Stone. Here they all are, in no particular order.
Slaves, protect me! Another sacrifice to the Goblin King! Do you like the pain?
After I recorded my walkthrough of the Riddles in the Dark chapter, I discovered a way of killing Ugslap that I don't think was intended. This method involves slash jumping, which is where you strike with the stick or with sting and then jump forward immediately afterwards. This causes Bilbo to jump farther than he normally would. First, retrieve the Wart Stone like you normally would.
This must be the Wart Stone.
Then, grab the fire rocks before going down the ladder to the large gate. Next, slash jump to said ladder, fall down rather than climbing down, slash jump to the gate, and talk to Ugslap.
I found your Wart Stone. Now please, open the gate.
I'll open the gate.
If you've done it right, you can throw fire rocks at Ugslap and kill him before the fire rocks power-up wears off. There are 2 possible lines of speech that can occur if you are caught by the Goblin guards in the chapter Riddles in the Dark. Here they both are.
Slaves, to me! Take him to the pits. You're roasting my pot, halfling. Take him to the pits.
Additionally, it is possible to get past the Goblin Guard by the switch and thus free Balfor without talking to him first. I don't recommend doing this for a couple of reasons. The first reason is that if you do succeed, you'll be a fraction of a second away from getting caught.
You're roasted. Freedom! Time to play! Baruch Hazard! For many long years, those goblins forced me to work on these dwarf-built mining contraptions. Honor demands their destruction. Follow that path. The minecart will take you out of these goblin caves.
The second reason I don't recommend freeing Balfor that way is that you will miss out on the opportunity to complete the Talk to Balfor quest, and thus you will miss out on a perfect score for the level. As you can see, I've already freed Balfor, which is indicated by the green dot to the left of that quest. The Talk to Balfor quest, however, remains incomplete, in spite of the fact that it is required, which means it should be impossible to skip. Oh well. I should also probably note that this riskier method of freeing Balfor causes the Hit Sell Door Switch quest to not appear in the quest log. However, that being said, using this riskier method will still cause the quest to show as completed via the totals on the summary screen. If you attack this crate in Balfor's cell, it'll explode. This was an oversight by the developers. In the chapter Flies and Spiders, if you enter Corwin's camp, leave it through the log, and then go back through the log into Corwin's camp, a rather haunting piece of music will play.
Finally, a camp. Oh my. Hello.
Who are you? You don't look like any elf or goblin. I am Corwin, huntsman from Lake Town.
Hello, I'm Bilbo Baggins, a hobbit of the Shire, and I'm looking for my friends. Did you see 13 dwarves run through here?
No, but I did see the spiders carry about a dozen wriggling bundles of spider silk through that web. My friends were not so lucky. The spiders killed every man in my camp, including my brother.
I am sorry about your brother.
You could burn through those webs if you had some oil. You will find some in the camp to the north.
I'm going to speed this next part up since it's just Bilbo walking. While messing around in the chapter Flies and Spiders, I discovered that the stick is a better weapon than Sting for killing spitting plants, so long as you have picked up the Master Stick Tactics training scroll and the Expert Stick Jump Tactics training scroll. Picking up those two training scrolls grants the stick the ability to chain a few attacks together, as well as an area of effect jump attack. Additionally, the stick has a longer range than Sting. Finally, if the jump attack meter is at least partially depleted, every single successful strike with a weapon refills some of it. This makes it possible to kill the large group of spitting plants in the chapter Flies and Spiders fairly quickly, all while taking only a little bit of health damage. Take a look. Spiders have two different attack animations. A spider can either kick you with its leg or nip you with its mouth. Every spider, from the lowly lesser spider all the way up to the giant boss spiders, has these two different attack animations. Next, I will showcase each attack animation from each type of spider. Now, dread spiders and red dread spiders poison you with both kicks and nips. In my main walkthrough, I said, in my experience, if you block an attack that poisons you, the attack will still poison you, even though it does no direct damage. However, I made a mistake here. A nip attack from a spider that poisons you will poison you whether or not you block the attack. kick attacks from dread spiders and red dread spiders will poison you the vast majority of the time if you fail to block them. However, if you block a kick attack from a dread spider or a red dread spider, your chances of being poisoned will decrease. Here is a clip of an unblocked kick attack from a dread spider that did not poison me. And here is a clip of an unblocked kick attack from a red dread spider that did not poison me. The 3 boss spiders only poison you with nip attacks, rather than both nip attacks and kick attacks. I don't think that the boss spiders' chances of poisoning you with nip attacks decrease if you block those attacks. As far as I can tell, Wild, the blue first boss spider, poisons you 100% of the time with nip attacks. The green second boss spider, Wrath, has a very slight chance not to poison you with a mouth nip. Here is footage of that happening. The red third boss spider, Wicked, has a more significant chance not to poison you with a mouth nip. Here is footage of that happening. As far as I can tell, saving and reloading the game deactivates the game's music. There doesn't seem to be any way to restart the music if you are facing just a boss spider. Therefore, if you deactivate the music in this way and kill one of the first 2 boss spiders, and it's the only enemy in the area, then the game gets confused and plays the victory music when it should not do so.
Nasty! A life for a life! She will be avenged!
When you kill the final boss spider to end the chapter Flies and Spiders, Bilbo will hold in his hand during the cutscene whatever weapon he was holding when the cutscene started. This can happen with Sting,
Oh, the webs are gone now. I'd better catch up with the dwarves.
this can happen with the stick,
Whew. Oh, the webs are gone now. I'd better catch up with the dwarves.
this can happen with a rock,
Whew. Oh, the webs are gone now. I'd better catch up with the dwarves.
this can even happen with nothing if you put the ring on before the cutscene starts.
Whew. Oh, the webs are gone now. I'd better catch up with the dwarves.
If, in the chapter Flies and Spiders, you try to leave the spider's lair without rescuing the dwarves, Bilbo will say,
I can't leave until I rescue the dwarves.
here's what happens if you get caught by the Wood-elves in the chapter Barrels Out of Bond.
Where is it?
While messing around in the chapter A Warm Welcome, I discovered that I hadn't included some of the lines of dialogue from the people of Lake Town in my walkthrough. Therefore, I decided to include them all here. I decided not to include the lines from the Dwarves since they have one line of dialogue each, and those are already all in my walkthrough.
You must be the expert treasure hunter who travels with the Dwarves. You certainly are a curious-looking creature.
Well, I could say the same of you. Pleased to meet you.
I won't let my children out past nightfall. Strange things prowl the streets at night.
I don't know about dragons, but I do believe in the king under the mountain. Thorin's return brings a new age of prosperity.
You must be the expert treasure hunter who travels with the Dwarves. You certainly are a curious-looking creature.
Well, I could say the same of you. Pleased to meet you.
Bard is of the line of Girion. His fathers were kings of Dale until the town was destroyed by the dragon Smaug. I once saw Bard shoot a goblin in the eye from 1,000 paces. There's no better archer alive than Bard the Bowman. Only tragedy will come to those who wake the dragon. Good evening.
Mirkwood was once beautiful. They called it Greenwood the Great. But wholesome creatures have fled its ruin, all except the Wood-elves. The elves are the most elegant creatures I've ever seen. The whole town brightens when they visit.
He wants to be an adventurer now. He says the dwarves have a child in their company who carries a blade.
The dwarves call him a hobbit. That's no child.
Try telling that to a young boy raised on tales of adventure. Good evening.
The king under the mountain has returned. The mountain will run rivers of gold.
That's what the old songs say. I'll believe the prophecies when I see the wealth with my own eyes. Bard has royal blood in his veins. If you ask me, we'd be better off with him as our leader, instead of that thief Calamar. The elves of Mirkwood distrust strangers, though they've traded with the men of Long Lake for as long as anyone here can remember.
I don't think I've ever seen a creature quite like you. What exactly are you? You're not a dwarf.
I'm a hobbit.
A hobbit? Well, now I've seen everything.
Our citizens are well behaved, but being this close to Mirkwood, we should never lower our guard. We spend our nights guarding this town from goblins, while the criminals are allowed to run free.
If it were up to Bard, we'd have removed the thieves from Lake Town long ago. But as long as Calamar is master, move along, citizen.
Keep going, sir.
Have you tried Vaden's new cider?
Oh, no. Stomach the stuff too sweet for my tastes. Good evening.
And to you. You're a lovely vision this night.
Oh, thank you, kind sir.
Here's what happens if you get caught by the thief in the chapter A Warm Welcome.
That must be the thief. If I don't keep quiet, he'll see me. I've been spotted.
Here's what happens if you allow the thief to escape in the chapter A Warm Welcome.
Faster, Bilbo. Don't lose him. Better hurry or he'll get away. If I don't get moving, he'll escape.
Here's what happens if you get caught by the goblins and thieves at the end of the chapter A Warm Welcome.
Got him!
In the chapter A Warm Welcome, the developers overlooked something rather immersion-breaking. To see this, first, retrieve the black arrow and return to Bard.
walls will try to slay the dragon. If they do, then the gold is ours. The Black Arrow. You stole a Black Arrow.
It was there.
Betrayal. Men, slay the goblin thieves.
Fight, goblins! Fight!
I have them right where we want them. Now, if I can just get out and get to Bard, he can round them up. The thieves and goblins are all trapped inside.
Get into that warehouse, men! You wait here, Bilbo. The town guard will finish this. Who would have ever thought someone so small could be so useful? Good work, Baggins.
I found the Black Arrow.
The line of Gideon has passed this arrow from father to son since it was forged in the Lonely Mountain. I am in your debt. Come visit me outside the Great Hall when you're ready to leave this place.
Next, go back through the cider house and return to the Thieves' Lair. I'm just going to speed this part up since it's only Bilbo walking.
Have you tried Bob's new cider?
Once you arrive back at the Thieves' Lair, you will discover that all the thieves and goblins are still there, even after Bard and his men caught them, and they can still cause you to fail the chapter.
Got it!
Here's what happens if you get caught by Smaug in the chapter Inside Information.
I'd better not walk on those gold coins. Too much noise and old Smaug will roast me.
There are a few voice lines in the chapter The Gathering of the Clouds that I didn't show in my walkthrough. If you power the gears, but don't repair them with the gear belt, and then talk to Bomber, he will say,
Looks like some mechanical contraption is missing there, Bilbo. Can you help me find it?
Additionally, if you repair the gears with the gear belt, but don't power them, and then talk to Bomber, he will say,
You must get the bellows working before you can use the forge. Talk to Gloin in the water room.
Finally, if you power the bellows and light the forge, but leave the cooler unpowered, and then talk to Biffer, he will say,
You want to use the cooling pot before you handle that key. You've never done any smithing before, have you, Bilbo?
In the chapter The Clouds Burst, if you talk to the female elf over by the red courage points at the start of the chapter 7 times, she will give you 2,000 free courage points. Unfortunately, I didn't know about this when I made the walkthrough, or I would have included it there. A fellow YouTuber by the name of Kurt the Gamer told me about this courage point gift in a comment on my walkthrough.
Goblins may love the stench of battle. The elves know there is no glory in all this. Goblins may love the stench of battle. The elves know there is no glory in all this death. Goblins may love the stench of battle. The elves know there is no glory in all this death. Goblins may love the stench of battle. The elves know there is no glory in all this death. Goblins may love the stench of battle. The elves know there is no glory in all this death. Goblins may love the stench of battle. The elves know there is no glory in all this death. Goblins may love the stench of battle. The elves know there is no glory in all this death.
And, just to show that it was 2,000 courage points, I'm showing my totals here. I picked up the extra 55 courage points at the start of this clip. If you look under Bilbo's cape in The Cloud's Burst, you can actually see the white mithril vest that Thorin gave him in The Gathering of the Clouds. The easiest way to do this is by sliding down a ladder or by jumping up and down. For comparison, here is a clip of Bilbo doing the same activities in the chapter Riddles in the Dark, where he doesn't have the mithril vest on. In the chapter The Cloud's Burst, the cowardly goblin behind the catapult you disable has 4 lines of dialogue that he says when you speak to him. Here are all 4.
Blasted dwarves and cursed elves! I'm through with this fight! Folk will have my hide, but I can fight no more! I was made to swing a pick, not a sword. Please, take pity on me!
Here's what happens if you fail to save Corwin in The Cloud's Burst.
Someone help me! Corwin! I have to help him!
There are a couple of collision bugs in the chapter The Cloud's Burst that I thought would be worth mentioning. First, if, after meeting Lianna and destroying the brick wall, you jump onto this ladder and climb all the way down, you will discover that the climbable portion of the ladder extends below where the bottom of the ladder appears to be. And second, there is some weird collision that prevents you from falling off this rock in this particular spot, just before you meet Beorn. However, you can walk or jump around the collision and then walk to the platform directly ahead on thin air. Here's what happens if you fail to free Beorn in the chapter The Cloud's Burst. From the time the cutscene ends, it takes between 3.5 and 4 minutes for Beorn's health bar to completely deplete, so I am going to make a cut here. Here I have a save that I made after completing the chapter Inside Information. As you can see, I have 8,282 silver pennies, which is more than enough for 4 Waters of Fortitude potions. However, if I buy 3 Waters of Fortitude potions, then the Waters of Fortitude potions will be sold out, meaning that I can't buy any more on this trip to the vendor. In other words, if you are going for a perfect game, make sure you buy at least 1 Waters of Fortitude potion before your final trip to the vendor after completing the chapter The Gathering of the Clouds. If you save 8,000 silver pennies until your final trip to the vendor, then you won't be able to buy 1 Waters of Fortitude potion. You may wonder how many courage points can be collected in The Cloud's Burst. At first glance, the courage points in this level seem to be infinite, due to the level's infinitely respawning enemies. Here I have a save file where I have collected more than 27,000 courage points. This is the maximum theoretical usable courage point limit. What I mean by this is that since Bilbo starts his adventure with 3 units of health, and can end it with a maximum of 30 units, he can only use a total of 27,000 courage points for gaining additional health, since every 1,000 courage points gives 1 additional maximum unit of health. Since the number of courage points in this level doesn't cap at 27,000, and because The Hobbit is a 32-bit video game from 2003, I'm going to make an educated guess that the maximum number of courage points that can be gathered in this level is 2,147,483,647. This number is the maximum positive value for a 32-bit signed binary integer in computing. You may also wonder what Waters of Vigor potions do. When you use a Waters of Vigor potion, it will fully restore Bilbo's health and also cure poison. Additionally, it will put a purple shield around up to 10 of Bilbo's health units. However, if there is already a purple shield around some of Bilbo's health units, it will shield a baseline of up to 10 units of health, plus a potential bonus of the number of units that are already shielded. In other words, it will shield up to 11 units of health if one is already shielded, a baseline of 10 plus 1 bonus, up to 12 units of health if 2 are already shielded, a baseline of 10 plus 2 bonus, and so on and so forth up to a maximum of 20 units if 10 units are already shielded, a baseline of 10 plus 10 bonus. Additionally, if Bilbo has at least 10 unshielded units of health and has 1 or more units of health already shielded, but also has fewer health units than the baseline value plus the bonus, using a Waters of Vigor potion will shield the baseline 10 health units and also generate additional empty shielded health units with no actual health units inside of them. To see this last part in action, look here. Here, Bilbo has 20 units of health. Using one Waters of Vigor potion shields 10 health units. Using a second one shields the remaining 10 health units, but also generates an additional 10 empty shielded health units, so as to follow the baseline plus bonus rule I discussed previously. You can tell where the actual health units end and the empty shielded health units begin by looking for the end of the shadow that the actual health units cast, right here. The shielded health units, both empty and real, take damage at the same rate as the normal health units do, with one important exception. They are immune to certain types of poison. If an enemy attacks you with an attack that would normally poison you, and the physical damage doesn't completely deplete the shielded health units, the attack won't poison you. However, if the attack depletes the shielded health units, it will also poison you, as shown in this clip. This information also, mostly, applies to the foul water found in the Flies and Spiders chapter. The water does 2 units of physical damage repeatedly over time, but it also poisons you, and the poison deals 2 units of poison damage per poison tick. However, if you use a Waters of Vigor potion, only the physical damage will apply until the shielded health units are completely gone, and even then, you will have to stay in contact with the water for a few more seconds in order to be poisoned. This immunity to poison also applies to the toxic gas found in the chapter Flies and Spiders, although the effect is so small it's almost not worth noting. As far as I can tell, the toxic gas does 1/2 unit of physical damage per damage tick, and also 1/2 unit and only 1/2 unit of poison damage after you exit the gas. Watch this. If you pay attention, you'll see that Bilbo takes 1 extra 1/2 unit of damage after he exits the gas. Now watch what happens if you use a Waters of Vigor potion first and then jump into the gas. In that case, the 1/2 unit of physical damage per damage tick is still applied, but the 1/2 unit of poison damage at the very end, the only 1/2 unit part, is completely negated. It's important to note that this immunity to poison doesn't apply to poison damage that comes from failing a chest's lockpick puzzle. If you fail a lockpick puzzle, the poison damage from the chest will deplete the shielded health units, as shown in this clip. I think the developers coded it this way to keep players from using a Waters of Vigor potion and then thereby receiving infinite chances to retry chests that poison you upon failure. Additionally, this immunity to poison doesn't apply to the poisonous gas found inside Renar's warehouse in A Warm Welcome. If you use a Waters of Vigor potion and then touch said gas, it will still deplete the shielded health units, as shown in this clip. However, to be completely fair, I'm a little bit uncertain as to whether the damage from this gas qualifies as physical damage or poison damage, since the damage stops as soon as you lose contact with the gas. Normal poison damage continues for a little bit after you get poisoned. Here's one final note about Waters of Vigor potions. If you're a masochist, you can use one and then jump into the deepest portion of the foul water so as to be able to listen to Bilbo drowning for longer than you would otherwise be able to. The game also has a sneak attacks mechanic that is rather weird. If you can perform a standard attack on a non-boss enemy that is unaware of you, either a slash or a rock throw, you will deal approximately 3 times as much damage to that enemy as you normally would. If you look at what just happened, I did a lot of damage to that werewolf, as indicated by the yellow conical health bar above its head. However, if the werewolf is already aware of me, I do a lot less damage, as shown here. If you are going for a slash sneak attack, be aware that you will need to get close by sneaking and or using the ring. Additionally, be aware that if Bilbo is extremely close to an enemy and he isn't sneaking, the enemy can still detect him even if its back is turned, as shown in this clip. Another thing to note is that slash sneak attacks will be far more difficult to pull off without using the ring. Now, you may be wondering about sneak jump attacks. They do exist, but I found them to be considerably less consistent than regular sneak attacks. Sneak jump attacks can be a bit useful, such as right here in the chapter Flies and Spiders when I use one to take out multiple spitting plants with the stick. Next, I'm going to retreat and wait for the spitting plants to all become unaware again. Unawareness is signified in a spitting plant by the plant pointing directly upwards. If you look at the next sneak jump attack I do, you will see that not all of the plants that were damaged were actually killed, and I'm not sure why that is. Here's another example. This is a successful sneak jump attack. And this is a sneak jump attack that failed because, well, I don't know why. I would have expected the sword jump attack to kill the goblin archer in one hit because of the bonus damage. As a matter of fact, the only time I could get the game to be consistent with sneak jump attacks was with this goblin archer in The Cloud's Burst. In this respect, I think that either the game has a bug, or the game is hard-coded to not give you the sneak jump attack damage bonus 100% of the time. For most of the training scrolls, If you fail to pick them up the first time, the game will give you a second chance to pick them up in later chapters. The secondary location for expert throwing tactics is in Riddles in the Dark. At the bottom of the ladder you descend to flip the switch for extending the bridge. Expert throwing tactics. You have learned a new rock throwing technique. Your stone attacks now do more damage than before. The secondary location for expert sword jump tactics is in the chapter Flies and Spiders, on top of one of the tree branches that you can climb onto at the beginning of the chapter, near the chest at the far end of the tree branches. Expert jump tactics. Sword. The jump attack is a devastating combat tactic. This attack does more damage to enemies than normal sword swings. It also breaks the shields of your enemies, giving you the opportunity to move in for closer combat. Press left Alt while jumping to execute this maneuver. The secondary location for expert stick jump tactics is in Flies and Spiders, after meeting Corwin, just before you jump down into the area with lots of spitting plants. Expert jump tactics. Stick. The jump attack is a devastating combat tactic. This attack does more damage to enemies than normal stick swings. It also knocks back every enemy in a small radius, clearing your foes away from you. Press left Alt while jumping to execute this maneuver. As far as I am aware, there are no secondary scroll locations for expert stick tactics and expert sword tactics. I have a theory as to why this is, but I can't prove it. All of the other secondary scroll locations for the expert scrolls are found 2 chapters after the scrolls are first encountered. What I mean by this is that, for example, the primary location for expert throwing tactics is in the chapter Troll Hole, but the secondary location for it is 2 chapters later, in the chapter Riddles in the Dark, and so on and so forth. Expert stick tactics and expert sword tactics are found in the chapters Troll Hole and Overhill and Underhill, respectively. If you move forward 2 chapters, you get Riddles in the Dark and Flies and Spiders, respectively, which are the same chapters where Master Stick Tactics and Master Sword Tactics are found. Therefore, I believe that the developers didn't want to include 2 training scrolls for the exact same weapon in the same chapter. The secondary location for Master Stick Tactics is in Barrels Out of Bond, just before jumping down the hole to the Darkwater Caverns. Master Stick Tactics. Stick attacks do more damage. You can now chain 3 stick attacks. In addition, you can unleash a devastating spin attack. Simply press and hold left Alt. Upon release, you will spin in a complete circle, damaging every enemy around you. The secondary location for Master Sword Tactics is in Barrels Out of Bond, just after killing the frog people and upgraded water leaper that are infighting. Master Sword Tactics. Sting does more damage. You can now chain 3 sword attacks. In addition, you can unleash a devastating spin attack. Simply press and hold left Alt. Upon release, you will spin in a complete circle, damaging every enemy around you. The secondary location for Master Throwing Tactics is in A Warm Welcome, right at the beginning of the chapter, on the way out to the pool in the center of Lake Town. Master Throwing Tactics. You have learned a new rock throwing technique. Your stone attacks now do more damage than before. The secondary locations for Master Stick Jump Tactics and Master Sword Jump Tactics are found in the Gathering of the Clouds. 1 scroll is found on each of the platforms where you pull a lever in order to access the 2 parts of the water valve puzzle. Master Stick Jump Tactics is on the first side that you visit, the side with the intact ladder. Master Jump Tactics. Stick. This is a more advanced form of the expert jump tactics. Stick. This attack does even more damage than the first jump attack, Its knockback radius is even greater than before, allowing you to damage more enemies at once. Press Enter while jumping to execute this maneuver. Master Sword Jump Tactics, on the other hand, is on the side with the broken ladder. Master Jump Tactics. Sword. This is a more advanced form of the Expert Jump Tactics. Sword. This attack does even more damage than the first jump attack. In addition, you now have the ability to knock back a single opponent. Press left Alt while jumping to execute this maneuver. There are no tertiary scroll locations in the game. By this, I mean that after you have failed to pick up a particular training scroll twice, the game won't give you a third chance to pick it up. In-game, the quest log can be viewed on the PC by pressing the Q key. Each incomplete quest has a short blurb of text that tells about it. I will now show all of the quest blurbs in the game for your viewing pleasure. In order to maintain some semblance of consistency, I decided to display the quest blurbs in the same order that the quests appear in-game once every quest for a chapter has been revealed. The gamer Shadow N64 uses this same quest order in his text walkthrough for the GameCube version of The Hobbit on GameSpot.GameFAQs.com. I have put a link to that walkthrough in the description of this video in case anyone wants to take a look at it. Anyway, to start things off, here are the quest blurbs for the chapter Dream World. Wake up. Keep moving forward until Bilbo wakes up from his dream. Look for an exit. Find the exit from this area. You can fight the goblins or just run straight through. Fight the goblins. Help the men, elves, and dwarves fight the goblins. When all the goblins are dead, your exit will appear. Climb the ladder. Climb the ladder and enter the pit. Here are the quest blurbs for the chapter An Unexpected Party. Meet the Dwarves. Go meet the Dwarves at the Green Dragon Inn. Find walking stick. Open Bilbo's chest and retrieve your walking stick. Help fix bridge. Help Sandyman fix the bridge. Find hammer. Get the hammer from Carl and bring it to Sandyman. Find 3 bundles of nails. Break open the jars inside the mill and bring 3 bundles of nails to Sandyman. Retrieve Gammer's sewing needle. Find Gammer's sewing needle and return it to her. Move Hannah's butter churn. Place Hannah's butter churn on her porch. Retrieve provisions for Bomber. Bring Bomber more provisions for your journey. Bring sugar. Retrieve sugar from Lorella's locked chest and bring it back to Bomber. Bring spice. Retrieve spice from Lorella's locked chest and bring it back to Bomber. Bring wheat. Locate some wheat and bring it back to Bomber. Bring 3 berries. Pick 3 berry bunches from the berry patch and bring them back to Bomber. Bring 3 eggs. Retrieve 3 eggs from the chicken coop and bring them back to Bomber. Bring 3 apples. Use throwing stones to knock 3 apples out of the apple trees. Then bring the apples back to Bomber. Bring sausages. Locate some sausages and bring them back to Bomber. Bring tea cakes. Find some tea cakes and bring them back to Bomber. Open Lorella's chests. Pick the locks on both of the chests behind Lorella's market. Scare off crows. Hit the scarecrows with your walking stick to scare off the crows. Find the 4 Hobbit children. Search around Hobbiton and find the hiding places of the 4 Hobbit children. Find Hamfast. Search Hobbiton to find Hamfast's hiding place. Find Hilda. Search Hobbiton to find where Hilda has hidden herself. Find Belle. Search Hobbiton and see if you can find where Belle has hidden herself. Find Sadok. Search Hobbiton for Sadok. Here are the quest blurbs for the chapter Roast Mutton. Talk to Thorin. Find Thorin, the Dwarf King. He has a task for you. Investigate light. Investigate the firelight. Lower water. Find a way to shut off the flow of water so you can reach the path to the vines. Raise water. Open the sluice gate in order to flood the area. Steal wallet. Sneak up behind William the Troll and steal his wallet. Bring a Burberry plant to Keeley. Find a Burberry plant and bring it to Keeley. Find Burberry plant. Find the Burberry plant. Explore the cliffs until you find it. Return Burberry plant. Return the Burberry plant to Keeley. Here are the quest blurbs for the chapter Troll Hole. Find the Troll Cave. Search the cliff for the Troll Cave. Find the Troll Key. You will need a key to unlock the Troll Cave. Search the caves for the key. Retrieve Healing Draught. Retrieve the Healing Draught for the elf Lianna. Return Healing Draught. Return the Healing Draught to the elf Lianna. Here are the quest blurbs for the chapter Overhill and Underhill. Talk to Balfor about the campfire. Gandalf asked you to help Balfor start the campfire. Go talk to Balfor and ask him how you can help. Get firewood for Balfor. You need to help Balfor get some dry firewood. Search the area and bring back any firewood you find. Fix the gold machine. It appears that the broken machine will open this door. Find the machine's golden pieces. Place them in the machine in order to open the door. Find large gold gear. Search the caves for the large gold gear. Find small gold gear. Search the caves for the small gold gear. Find medium gold gear. Search the caves for the medium gold gear. Find gold shank arm. Search the caves for the gold shank arm. Find gold shank head. Search the caves for the gold shank head. Fix the copper machine. It appears that the broken machine will open this door. Find the machine's copper pieces. Place them in the machine in order to lower the drawbridge. Find large copper gear. Search the caves for the large copper gear. Find small copper gear. Search the caves for the small copper gear. Find medium copper gear. Search the caves for the medium copper gear. Find copper shank arm. Search the caves for the copper shank arm. Find copper shank head. Search the caves for the copper shank head. Fix the metallic machine. It appears that the broken machine will open this door. Find the machine's metallic pieces. Place them in the machine in order to lower the drawbridge. Find large metallic gear. Search the caves for the large metallic gear. Find small metallic gear. Search the caves for the small metallic gear. Find medium metallic gear. Search the caves for the medium metallic gear. Find metallic shank arm. Search the caves for the metallic shank arm. Find metallic shank head. Search the caves for the metallic shank head. Here are the quest blurbs for the chapter Riddles in the Dark. Exit caves. Find the exit to the caves. Extend bridge. Find a way to extend the bridge. Lower bridge. Lower the drawbridge. Free Balfor. Free Balfor from the prison. Go to jail. Locate the jail where Balfor is held prisoner. Talk to Balfor. Sneak past the guards and talk to Balfor. Hit cell door switch. Hit the switch to open Balfor's cell. Bribe guard to open gate. Bribe the guard to open up the main gate. Find Wartstone. Find the Wartstone. Take Wartstone to guard. Take the Wartstone back to the Goblin Guard. Activate Wart Lift. Find the lever for the Wart Lift and turn the Wart Lift on. You will need to use the Wart lever on the panel near the lift to start it. Find key for Mugg Lift. Find the key for the Mugg Lift. Activate Mugg Lift. Use the Mugg key on the panel to start the Mugg Lift. Find key for Grit Lift. Find the key for the Grit Lift. Activate Grit Lift. Use the Grit key on the panel to start the Grit Lift. Find key for Dim Lift. Find the key for the Dim Lift. Activate Dim Lift. Use the Dim key on the panel to start the Dim Lift. Take Wart lever to Wart Lift. Return with Wart lever to Wart Lift. Here are the quest blurbs for the chapter Flies and Spiders. Find the Dwarves. Make your way through Mirkwood and find the Dwarves. Rescue the Dwarves. Cut down the 3 dwarf cocoons. Escape the spider lair. Defeat the 3 spider queens and their minions. Burn away the thick web. Use oil from the north camp to inflame the campfire. Find oil. Find oil in the north camp. Use oil on campfire. Use oil on the campfire to burn away the web barrier. Find memento for Corwin. Find a memento for Corwin and return it to him. Here are the quest blurbs for the chapter Barrels Out of Bond. Find the Dwarves. Enter the halls of the Elven King, locate the stockade, and talk to Balin. Find opening crystals. Obtain the elvish opening crystals from the throne room. Find Crystal 1. Crystal 1 is in the throne room. Find Crystal 2. Crystal 2 is in the throne room. Find Crystal 3. Crystal 3 is in the throne room. Open stockade door. Place the opening crystals on their pedestals to open the stockade door. Find an exit. Search for an escape route from the halls of the Elven King. Talk to Balin. Tell Balin about the escape route. Find potion ingredients. Search the halls of the Elven King for sleeping potion ingredients. Find Moonleaf. Look for Moonleaf in the throne room. Find Willowweed. Look for Willowweed in the courtyard. Find Spider's Bane. Look for Spider's Bane in the Spider Lair. The Spider Lair entrance is in the courtyard. Make Galleon drowsy. Go to the barrel room and place the sleeping potion ingredients in Galleon's mug. Talk to Balin. Tell Balin that Galleon is unconscious. Find Thorin. Work your way through the caverns to find Thorin. Find Deep Cellar keys. To free Thorin from his cell, find the Deep Cellar keys. Find the first key. Look for the first key in the courtyard. Find the second key. Look for the second key in the Darkwater caverns. Find the third key. Look for the third key in the courtyard. Find the fourth key. Look for the fourth key in the Spider Lair. Free Thorin. Use the Deep Cellar keys to open Thorin's cell. Open the river gate. Open the river gate and send the dwarves on to Lake Town. Here are the quest blurbs for the chapter A Warm Welcome. Talk to the Master of Lake Town. Find and talk to the Master of Lake Town. Stake out the wine warehouse. Find a good hiding spot near the wine warehouse. Follow the thief. Follow the thief to his hideout. Don't make noise or you'll be caught. Inspect the east warehouse. Go into the East Warehouse and inspect the boxes for weapons. Talk to Bard. Get out of the warehouse and tell Bard about the Goblin ambush. Explore the Cider House. Talk to the patrons of the Cider House. See if they have any information about the stolen weapons. Find Renar. Tell Renar that the thieves are using his warehouse as a storage place for stolen weapons. Inspect Renar's warehouse. Look for the stolen weapons in Renar's warehouse. Tell Bard about the weapons. Tell Bard about the stolen weapons. Find the Black Arrow. Find Bard's Black Arrow. Rumor has it that the thieves have a secret hideout somewhere in Lake Town. If they have the arrow, it will be there. Talk to Malak. Go to the Cider House and talk to Malak. Perhaps he can provide you with passage into the thieves' hideout. Bring Malak his dagger. Find Malak's golden dagger. When you find the dagger, Malak will give you information about the thieves' hideout. Find the thieves' hideout. Find the 5 colored wine bottles in order to open the secret entrance to the thieves' hideout. Find a bottle in the Cider House. One of the Cider House patrons has one of the wine bottles. Find a bottle in the Cider House. One of the wine bottles can be found somewhere in the Cider House. Find a bottle in Rand's house. One of the wine bottles can be found in Rand's house. Find a bottle in Elik's house. One of the wine bottles can be found in Elik's house. Find a bottle in Orland's house. One of the wine bottles can be found in Orland's house. Retrieve the Black Arrow. Sneak past the thieves and goblins and take back the Black Arrow. Return Black Arrow. Return the Black Arrow to Bard. Here are the quest blurbs for the chapter Inside Information. Retrieve the Golden Cup. Sneak up to Smaug and take back the Golden Cup of Thror. Return the cup to Thorin. Find Smaug's weak spot. Find Smaug's weak spot. Climb up to the large chandelier to get a good look at the dragon. Bridge the cavern. Help the dwarves find a way across the cavern. Find Groin's giant ruby. If you find Groin's giant ruby, take it back to Gloin. Find King Bledorthan's spears. If you find King Bledorthan's spears, take them back to Balin. Find the golden tray. If you find the golden tray, take it back to Bomber. Find the necklace of Girion. If you find the necklace of Girion, take it back to Dwalin. Here are the quest blurbs for the chapter The Gathering of the Clouds. Retrieve the Arkenstone. Retrieve the Arkenstone from the Treasury Vault. Open the doors. Use the rune blocks to open the doors. Activate the lifts. Direct water to the gear room and repair the gears to get the lifts working again. Repair the gears. Find the missing belt and attach it to the gears. Power the gears. Direct water from the water room to the gear room. Activate the forge. The forge will work once the fire is lit and the machinery is powered. Light the forge. Light the forge. Look for some flammable substance behind the structure. Power the bellows. Direct water from the water room to the bellows. Power the cooler. Direct water from the water room to the cooler. Get the treasury key. You will need a mold in order to forge the treasury key. Look for the mold by the throne. Use the mold on the forge. Get the first throne key. Look for a mold in the main hall. Use the mold on the forge to make a key. Get the second throne key. Look for a mold in the water room. Use the mold on the forge to make a key. Open the treasury door. Lower the column to expose the keyhole. Use the treasury key to open the door. Power the door. Direct water from the water room to the treasury. Find missing chain. Find the missing fourth chain and attach it to the end of the empty chain arm in the treasury. Expose the keyhole. Pull all 4 chains to lower the keyhole column. Here are the quest blurbs for the chapter The Clouds Burst. Deliver message to Bard. Deliver Gandalf's message to Bard. Save the dwarves. Slay the goblins and free the dwarves. Save Corwin. Slay the goblins and save Corwin. Return to Gandalf. Go back the way you came and find Gandalf. Find Lianna. Work your way through the battle. Find the elf Lianna. Destroy the wall. Use the blue barrel to destroy the wall that blocks your exit. Find Beorn. Find Beorn, the skin changer. Help Beorn. Help Beorn win the Battle of 5 Armies. Follow Beorn. Follow Beorn and offer him help as he needs it. Drop the bridge. Find a way to drop the Goblin Bridge. Free Beorn. Free Beorn from the immobilization spell. On the PC, you can view a list of the quest items that Bilbo is currently carrying by viewing the quest log and then pressing the C key. Each quest item is shown as a spinning 3-dimensional model. I will now show all of the quest items in the game. There are no quest items for the chapter Dream World, so here are the quest items for the chapter An Unexpected Party. Hammer. Nails. Tea cakes. Apple. Egg. Berries. Sack of wheat. Sugar. Spice. Sausage. Quilting needle. Here is the one quest item for the chapter Roast Mutton. Burberry plant. Here are the quest items for the chapter Troll Hole. Note that the Witch King crystal appears twice, but that it's the same item both times. Healing Draught. Witch King crystal. Witch King crystal. Troll key. Here are the quest items for the chapter Overhill and Underhill. Firewood. Small golden gear. Golden gear. Large golden gear. Gold shank head. Gold shank arm. Small copper gear. Copper gear. Large copper gear. Copper shank head. Copper shank arm. Small metallic gear. Metallic gear. Large metallic gear. Metallic shank head. Metallic shank arm. Troll key. Here are the quest items for the chapter Riddles in the Dark. Note that the Wartstone resembles the shape of the Great Icosahedron in geometry. Mugg lift key. Grit lift key. Dim lift key. Wart lift lever. Wartstone. Here are the quest items for the chapter Flies and Spiders. Can of oil. Signet ring. As a bonus, here is a view of the signet ring as it appears in the world. I included this so that you could clearly see the symbols on top of it. Blue urn. Red urn. Yellow urn. Here are the quest items for the chapter Barrels Out of Bond. Note that the first 3 Elvish opening crystals have the exact same model. Additionally, Elvish Opening Crystal 4 isn't technically a quest item since it isn't used in the completion of any quests. However, it still does appear in the Items tab, so I am showing it here. Elvish Opening Crystal 1. Elvish Opening Crystal 2. Elvish Opening Crystal 3. Web Potion. Moonleaf. Willowweed. Spider's Bane. Elvish Opening Crystal 4. Deep Cellar Key 1. Deep Cellar Key 2. Deep Cellar Key 3. Deep Cellar Key 4. Here are the quest items for the chapter A Warm Welcome. Renar's Key. Malak's Golden Dagger. Black Wine Bottle. Blue Wine Bottle. Purple Wine Bottle. Red Wine Bottle. Yellow Wine Bottle. Black Arrow. Here are the quest items for the chapter Inside Information. Thror's Golden Cup. Necklace of Girion. Groin's Ruby. King Bledorthan's Spears. Golden Serving Dish. For the golden serving dish, I decided to include a view of it as it appears in the world, since I felt that the spinning model inside the Items tab didn't do it justice. Here are the quest items for the chapter The Gathering of the Clouds. Gear Belt. Treasury Chain. Throne Key Mold 1. Throne Key Mold 2. Throne Key 1. Throne Key 2. Treasury Key Mold. Treasury Key. Here are the quest items for the chapter The Clouds Burst. Gandalf's Message. Ladder Switch Lever. And finally, to top things off, we have the game's credits. That concludes this video on The Hobbit. I hope you enjoyed it, I hope you learned something, and I hope you will join me again for future videos. Until next time, I'm out. See you later, everyone.